Floss Tube friends. Are you ready for a WIP parade? Well, I've got a WIP parade. I wanted to do one before the end of the year, and we are just about there. Today is the 30th, one more day of this year. Hard to believe, I just can't believe we're almost in 2023. But it's been a good year, and before it ends, I wanted to share with you what I've been working on, what's in process, and just share all my WIPs. So if you'd like to join me, grab something to eat and or something to drink, sit back with your stitching, and just spend a little time with me. That would be great. Let's see. Now this is my second go around. I've already done this once, so I'm probably going to forget some things I talked about the first time, but I'm just going to go back through it again and see if I can remember. Before I get started, I did want to tell you that I use this wonderful cross-stitch journal from Fat Quarter Shop. It's 50 projects, and it has an index in the front, which is wonderful. You can write all your projects in the order that you have done them. Check them off when they're done, when they're finished, and it has a corresponding page for each number. I've got 40 projects in here so far. I have 21 WIPs that I'm still working on. I have some that are partially done, where they're many parts to the WIPs. Those I'm not going to show you today unless I've already started the next phase. Some are 12 parts, some are 9 parts, some are 5 parts. But anyway, I'm just going to show you what are active WIPs right now and what I've been working on this year. The first one, let me get to that number, is Roxy by Jean Farish Needleworks. And this was a mystery stitch along that we started back in March of 21. She would release one part per, I think it was month, and she would send that out via email. And she also had a YouTube video explaining the stitches. There were a lot of specialty stitches in this, so in her video she showed us how to do the stitches, and that was one reason I wanted to do it, because I'm kind of new back to cross stitching. Excuse me. And we didn't do any extra specialty stitches back in the 80s. It was just back stitching and cross stitching. There might have been some done, but in the pieces that I was working on, we didn't have any specialty stitches. So excuse me, I hope I don't lose my voice doing this, because I've already talked for an hour and a half. Anyway, it's Roxy by Jean Farish, and I'm stitching this on a 30 count Victorian sponge cake. Really nice fabric. This was one of the first linens that I really started working on, and this was a remake of a reproduction sampler that she did. I think it was called Roxanne, and she wanted to kind of update it with colors, make it a little fresher, brighter. But anyway, this was the stitch. Beautiful, beautiful sampler with all the strawberries going around, and all the strawberries have specialty stitches. There's eyelet stitches, Algerian eyelets. There's Buddy. Say, hey, Buddy. He just finished his dinner, and he's a happy camper. Anyway, she advised that we use Cosmo floss, and this was the first time I had experienced Cosmo floss, and I really do like it. It's the only thing I've stitched in Cosmo, but I would like to do some more in that floss, because it's just very, very nice. Anyway, this is how far I've gotten. You can see the inner border is a satin stitch, and that's a lot of satin stitch to go all the way around the inner border. I am loving it, though. I laid this down because this past year I didn't actually work on it because I had misplaced the parts, and I wasn't sure if I could get them, so I emailed Jean, and she very graciously sent the parts to me that I was missing, and with that comes the video tutorials. Let me scoot this over here, get this out of the away. So I'm looking forward to getting back in that. I don't know if that's officially a WIP, but I guess it is. It's not finished. So that was from 21. That was probably my oldest, one of my oldest stitches. Okay. Want to go through my book here. That one's finished. That one's finished. Okay. Hang on. Zilijay is the next one by Reflect de Soie. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. This is a beautiful, beautiful chart. I know y'all have seen it. Deb with Country Stitches. She has completed it, and hers is absolutely gorgeous. So has Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. And Lisa, in hers, she had a floss conversion to overdyes. And she shared her floss. I asked her if she would share her floss conversion with me, and she did. And so that is what I'm using. This is the chart, Reflect de Soie. Zilijay, 1898. Absolutely beautiful. For some reason, this reminds me of the 30s, though. Even though it says 1898, it just reminds me of the 30s. Maybe the 20s and the 30s. It might be that house. I don't know. But I love this pair. I can't wait to get down there. I started at the very top, and I'm working my way down. Began this October 18th of 21 in memory of my mom. For some reason, this just reminded me of my mom. The colors, the softness, the prettiness. So anyway, I'm doing that in memory of my mom and in honor of her. I'm using a white, antique white linen, 36 count. Here is my progress so far. I need to put something behind that because you see my tree. Okay, here's my progress so far. So I've got the top border, some of the side border, ivy, the smaller alphabet, the numbers, and working on the really fancy letters next. I absolutely love this and can't wait to get back on it again. And I'm really appreciative of Lisa Smith and her willingness to share her conversion. I think it originally calls for silk, so but anyway, I just love these colors. They're so soft and beautiful. I hope to get working on that soon, and it will be in my 23 rotation for sure. I have a laundry basket down here and a laundry hamper that I'm putting this stuff in as I work my way through. The next one is a stitch along that I did, or I'm still working on, with that quarter shop called Autumn Beauties. This was a mystery also, and you got a part of it per, I think it's per week. I love the blue and white gingham border and the sunflowers. Anything with sunflowers I just think is gorgeous. So anyway, that was with Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm using their called for their floss pack. I bought the floss pack from Fat Quarter Shop. And they're just gorgeous colors. And I'll have some left over. I started this November the 4th of 21. And I'm stitching it on 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. The sow is hashtag Autumn Beauties sow. This is my progress. I'll use this bag, shipping bag in the background. I think the crow is so cool looking sitting on the wheelbarrow. I did not do the sign. It has a sign in it, fall y'all, and she did give several alternates that you could use, but instead I just did another sunflower, as you can see where the sign is. And I think all that's left is another group of sunflowers down here, the center of this sunflower. I think that's all that's left. So this is a definite finish in 2023. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. Frame or a pillow. It might make kind of a large pillow, but yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I think it's very pretty. I'm going to go ahead and put these back while I have them out because I don't want everything to get anything to get misplaced. Hey buddy, what you doing, little feller? Excuse me. The next one is a stitch along from 2021 that I didn't start participating in. It was after the sow had completed. All year long I had wanted to go ahead and get it, and for some reason I just held off. And so I got it in December with got all the pieces, all the parts and pieces. And excuse me, decided to start it on January 1st. So this was my January 1st, 2022 start. I'm stitching it on bee's knees. Let me get this floss out. Goodness gracious. Okay. I have a lot of floss down in here because I think it's going to use quite a bit. Yes, I'm stitching it on 36 count bee's knees by Seraphim, and I'm using 924 and 926 DMC, which I think is a wonderful color combination. It's close to what he was using in I have a stack here that is very precariously perched. I hope I don't knock it over. This is how far I have gotten. So it's the first section, the first one, and then I think part of the second. So I've got quite a few segments to go. But even if it takes me several years, if I can get 3 sections or 4 sections done a year, make a little better progress than what I did this year, I will be happy, because this is going to be a beauty when it's finished. The fabric is not coming through quite as true as it is. It's more brown than what is showing. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. And that is Jacob DeGraff from Modern Folk Embroidery. And that will be part of all of these will be part of my WIP Go 2023. And hopefully you can get more progress on everything. Okay. The next one is, I'm going to set this up here, Quaker Bells. This was a stitch along #Quaker Bells Sow that was started in December of 21. I started on December 18th. It is stitched on a 28 count Lagana Salted Caramel by Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts. And that's the first of hers that I have used, and it's absolutely beautiful. I did not use the called for floss because it was kind of a quick throw together sow. And so I just grabbed what I happen to have in my stash. And I think it's fine. There's only 3 colors. So this is the chart. Quaker Bells. I heard the bells. It's a little Quaker design. Very, very pretty. This will definitely be a finish for me in 2023. And this is how far I have gotten. So I've done the first Quaker up at the top. I have the second Quaker to complete on the bottom. That star is done. I have the words and then all the little small motifs that go around. So that should definitely be a finish. I am going to need to get some more of the steamed broccoli. That's what I used for the green, and I think I have some upstairs. I used peanut brittle for the gold, kind of brown, and cherry cobbler, which I love, for the red. So this was a fun stitch along. There were quite a few people that were doing this, and I don't know if everybody's finished. Well, okay, I'm gonna stick this up under here. And get these put back in here. That's gonna make a nice little Christmas piece. Not sure how I'm gonna finish it, if it's gonna be in a frame or a little small pillow or a stand. A flat fold. Okay. Next one is Christmas Garden, which a lot of y'all have seen. This is beautiful by Blackbird Design. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to have this done. Oh, I think it's just so pretty. I am using Vicki Clayton's silks on this, her silk conversion. There's not but 4 colors, which I think is pretty amazing. You know, you would think there's more colors in that. There is Strange Brew, which is the goldish color. Looks more green there, but it's not. Poetry Pie, which is for the basket and the deer. Sage Oil, which is the beautiful green, Christmas green. And Old Maid of the Heart, which is the red, a rich, beautiful red. I love that so much. I am stitching this on an R&R Reproductions American Chestnut, 36 count. This was my Christmas Day start in 21. Oh, and by the way, and I know, you know, y'all probably know this, but just in case you're new to stitching or you're new to Blackbird Design, this is in Home for the Holidays book. This is a wonderful treasure trove of beauties. So many people have done the stockings. I would love to do the stockings. I would love to do this beautiful dove up here, the cardinal on the back, and that's just part of what's in here. There is a plethora of beauties. Wonderful charts, easy to read. This stocking. Decorate the tree. Oh, I would love to have those hanging on my tree, or have just a blackbird tree. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let me show you the stitch. Sorry. This is how far I've gotten. So I've got the top border, part of the side, the first section, almost half of going across the top. Excuse all the threads here. I made an error on this. My deer is supposed to be one square up from this band that goes across, but he's 2, and I don't know exactly where I made the error. I don't want to stitch the deer out because I think he's lovely, and I don't like to unstitch, you know, unless it's absolutely necessary. It might be necessary, but what I decided to do was get this perfectly centered, this motif, the basket with the flowers in it, get it perfectly centered, work that in, and then see how I'm doing around. and see if there's a way that will work. The only thing that's symmetrical in this chart is the deer. Everything else, there is a basket on the other side, but it's a different basket. There's different motifs. There's different trees. So that's the only thing that is symmetric, is perfectly symmetrical, a mirror image of itself. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. I thought maybe if I could just make the other deer the same height, or I might just let it. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. I do not want to unstitch it. So I think it's beautiful on this R&R American chestnut fabric. I am using, instead of one strand of the Vicki Clayton silk, which typically on 36 count you can use one strand. The one strand looked beautiful, but I wanted a rich, deep, saturated color in this. And so I'm using 2 strands. And I did get in touch with Vicki and ask her if I'm going to have enough, and she said, absolutely, I will have enough. Because I think the chart originally called for stitching it on a 30 or 32 count, which would have been 2 strands. So she allocated her floss pack based on a 32 count. So I should have enough. But I love this stitch. Anything blackbird. What is it, Brenda says? Stitch all the blackbird. Okay. The next one is a design by Judy of JBW Designs. I always call it the Red Rooster Sampler, but it's not the Red Rooster Sampler, it's the Antique Rooster Sampler. And I tried to make a copy of this because there's not a picture of the whole thing that's large enough to see on here, but maybe I can hold it close enough so you can see it. Hope it's not washing out. And that's a part of the sampler. And then here is a very small picture. Uh-oh. Excuse me, I think our chicken's thawed. Oh, it stopped. Okay. Here we go. That's what's for dinner, chicken. Isn't that cute? I love roosters. Pardon my shaky hands. I have several roosters in my kitchen, and I just love roosters. They say that's the first of God's creatures that sings his praise in the morning. We have a rooster back behind us, and every now and then we hear him talking quite a bit. Anyway, the Antique Red Rooster Sampler I am stitching on 32 count Weeks Dye Works linen, the color linen, and I'm using Cupid, Classic Colorworks Cupid. So let me show you how he looks. I think he's looking pretty. A lot of variegation in this floss. I didn't realize there was quite so much, but I'm going to keep going with it. I did misjudge the starting point. See, I started up here. What I normally do is I work upside down, and so for some reason I started up here and worked this vine down, and I was off. And I'm just going to go with it because I think this is going to end up being closely framed anyway, and I might just have to add a piece of fabric on the bottom, or maybe something just to, that should be enough to go into a frame. It's a good inch. It's an inch. What was I thinking? I'll tell you what, I wasn't thinking. Well, that's not good. That isn't the first time. And it's probably not going to be the last time. Oh well. So anyway, that's a fun stitch. I enjoyed JBW's designs. That's the first one of hers I've done. And I hope to do many more. Okay, the next one, I know that y'all have seen this. Everybody went nuts when it first came out. This was a monthly, a year in the woods. And this was the first year in the woods. which is the fox. Isn't he stately and handsome? Oh, he's so pretty. Oh my goodness. You can almost feel the chill in the air too with all the snowflakes around. And he's loving it. I am using the called for floss, which is a combination of DMC, Gentle Arts. Yeah, Gentle Arts. DMC and Gentle Arts. Pretty colors. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Mirage by Picture This Plus. I've got a bunch of threads in the back, so if you see something through there, that's what that is. I don't want to cut them off till I've kind of used up what I can. And there he is. Isn't he pretty on that Mirage? That is the called for. It looks an awful lot darker. And in person, this looks grayer on the screen. But in person, it's a blue. It's a real deep, deep blue. Just beautiful. I'm looking forward to getting back and working on him. Spending some time with the fox. I wanted to mention a sweet friend on Instagram. I had seen, she had posted where she was working on this. I think she was just about finished. And I commented on her post how beautiful it was and how I wanted to stitch it. And while we were chatting on Instagram, I went on to 1-2-3 Stitch and I ordered the chart, ordered the fabric, ordered all the floss I could get. But they didn't have the Gentle Arts chalk or the burnt orange. So I told her, I just ordered I can't wait, it's coming in. I just ordered it, but I couldn't get the chalk and the burnt orange, so I'm going to have to wait until I find that from somewhere. And she said, I'm going to my L&S tomorrow. Why don't I just pick you up some? And I said, oh my gosh, now you don't have to. Thank you, but no, you don't have to. She said, no, I don't mind. So a couple of days later, I got a pack of chalk and Gentle Arts from my sweet friend Carol on Instagram. And I appreciate that so much. And what a kindness that was. So anyways, every time I pick that up, I think of her. Okay, what is next? I was inspired to do this next stitch by, oh my gosh, her name's beep, beep, right on my head. Contented Stitcher. Yeah, okay, I know her name. I just can't think of it right off the top of my head. Kim, the Contented Stitcher. She had shown this in her Instagram and also in her floss tube. And when I saw it, I just knew I wanted to stitch it. And I knew I wanted to start it on Good Friday. The name of it is Teteleste. Teteleste. I think that's right how you pronounce it. It's absolutely beautiful, which is Hebrew, I think Hebrew, for it is finished. And this Quaint Rose Needle Arts, she had gotten in touch with Kim, and they had discussed, what to put on the bottom. And I think Kim was the one that suggested the scripture, and it is finished. So I believe this is a reproduction sampler, if I'm not wrong. And this is a picture of the inspiration from the reproduction sampler. Similar, but a little different. This has, more of the ornate coming off of the arms and then the rays coming down. That's basically the difference. I don't know if there's more flowers. It's just beautiful. So anyway, I started this on Good Friday of this year. I'm stitching it on 36 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim, which I love Seraphim's fabrics. They're so beautiful and so wonderful to work with, and they smell so good. And I am using an MPI silk number 504. It's called Chinese Red, and I got a hank of it. So hopefully I'm going to have plenty more to use on many more red samplers. I love red samplers. Oh, I just think they're so beautiful. Red samplers, red and white quilts. Oh gosh, they're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is, I haven't gotten very far, but I have finished the borders, and they meet up. So I'm happy about that. So the next part that I'll work on in the new year, whenever this is called on WIP Go, or whatever month I decide to make it a focus, excuse me, I'll work on the words down here in the scripture and the other flowers that go around, do the flowering, shrubs around here, and do the cross, the last thing. I would love to save the cross for Good Friday, either this year or next year, depending on how much I can get stitched this year. I think the Chinese Red NPI silk is just gorgeous on this seraphim fabric. Prairie grass. I have two different prairie grasses from Seraphim. They both look different, but they're beautiful, and I wouldn't change them for anything. But I think that's the thing with hand-dyed fabrics is, excuse me, there's a possibility they might be a little different because of weather, of water, temperature, everything. And I like things that are different. So anyway, next, I'm kind of ashamed to show this to you because I don't have very much progress, but that will change with time, I hope. This is a beautiful chart from Blackbird Designs that I am hopefully can get more progress on. The name of it is What Remains is Love. And I started this on our anniversary date, which was 4/28 of this year, in just to memorialize our anniversary. And I just think it is beautiful, and that saying is so true. That's what matters. Everything else will fall away, but what is done in love will remain and will live forever. I'm stitching this on a 40 count platinum with Vicki Clayton's silk pack. I've got them in this little container that I ordered from Amazon that works great for 10 spools. I guess I could double up. No, I don't think double would fit. Can't really see the colors here, but they're beautiful. Take my word for it. She has so hit these colors in her flosses. Roasted cherry, look how pretty. Miss the Moon. I love this one, and this is definitely a Blackbird color. Blossom Butter, look at that. My fingernails look so bad, I'm sorry. Anyway, there's some beautiful, beautiful silks. This is all I've gotten done. I don't know that I really need to put anything up here for you to see the stitching because there's not that much. But that's all I've gotten done, but it's a start. So, yeah. And each one of those has the little like rosettes on it or berries. I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to be. That pink is going to be so pretty when it gets added to that. And I think I told you wrong. I'm stitching this on a 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. I told you I was stitching it on platinum. That is the next piece that I'm going to share with you. This is the next one is the first one that I've used platinum for, and Sherry with Colorado Cross Stitcher was showing a bunch of her stitches, and she had shown some of her stitching done on platinum, and she just really recommended it highly. So I jumped on and I was able to get some. I was lucky and able to get some. And so the next one is what I'm stitching. I'm using the platinum for. Excuse me while I grab this next bin. And this was a stitch along that I started with Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. And there were quite a few other people that joined in. I have everything housed in this beautiful bag that I got from Wendy, the Atlanta Stitcher. I don't have a whole lot of bags, but this is one I have that I'm just very, very happy with and pleased with. I think it's beautiful. Laurie Holt fabric. Nice big bag too. I am stitching this on 40 count platinum, and I'm using, again, Vicki Clayton's silk conversion. Look at all those beautiful, beautiful silks. I am using one strand on the 40, and it is wonderful, wonderful coverage. And I've got these separated in little pill pouches, which work great, you know. That way, if I've got a little bit of floss left, I don't want to throw anything away if I might can use it for a little fill-in or something. And this is the chart, Mary Clayton by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Absolutely beautiful chart. I think there's a picture in the center. It shows it bigger. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my word, that's so pretty. And the colors are coming out so true to this. I can't remember who else was in the stitch along. It was hashtag Mary Clayton Sal, of course Chrissy, Melanie of Melly Nurse, Heather, Sunshine, Nevada, Sweetwater Stitcher, Jessica. They're probably all finished. I'll get there. I'll get there, girls. This is what I've gotten accomplished so far. And there are some threads back behind, but like I said, I want to conserve as many threads as I can. So I've gotten the roof with the gables and the cross, the two angels. I'm not sure if that's an ice cream bowl. It kind of looks like an ice cream bowl with maybe chocolate and strawberry ice cream. I'm not sure, but I like it. I just think it's beautiful. And Vicky's silks are just gorgeous on that. So that will be part of WIP Go 2023 as well. I'm going to pause for just a minute. I've got to change out this basket because it's getting too full to put anything else in, so I will be right back. We're over halfway. Are you guys still hanging with me? There's Buddy back there. He's looking for a nut that Daddy dropped, I think. Hey, Buddy. You want to come say hey? Hey, Buddy. Okay, the next one that I'd like to share with you is Old Christmas Tree by All Through the Night, Folk Art Designs. I was inspired to get this from Fat Quarter Shop. I think Kim had stitched it in the green, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And I wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure about the green. When I got it, I tried to get the floss that was called for, and I could not find it. I think it said Valdani. So I've tried 3 different colors and fabrics, and none of them hit the right spot. So the 4th restart, I said, okay, this is it. I think this is it. So I am using a 30 count Aztec red, Weeks by Week Style Works, with a white sulky thread 1001. This is a 12 weight, which works really good on a 30, 32, even a 36 count. It really shows up well. And this is how far I have progressed. So I've gotten 3 branches going across each way. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. Of course, on the camera, this looks very much orange, and it's not. It's not orange. It's a red. It's a Christmas red. So I guess the camera just blows it out. But I love the little birds on the limbs, the Christmas decorations, the balls, the stars. There's so many pretty things. I've got 3 more of the branches levels to do, which of course are larger, so it's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm really looking forward to getting back on this. I do have the basket done. I worked my way down the trunk of the tree to the basket. I've got the basket done. You can see it right here. And I think the white sulky thread really works. Shows up nice. I started this on May 15th. Actually, 4th restart on May 15th. But I think that's, I'm happy with that. And thank you, Kim, for inspiring. See, all these were inspiration from somebody. So I'm hoping maybe you'll see something that you'll be inspired to pick up and stitch from what I'm showing. This next one, I love this stitch so much. This was a birthday start for Peter to celebrate his 66th birthday on May 17th of this year. Of course, y'all know Peter, the other half of Carolina Cross Stitcher and Pete's Bee Skips, that he's a tree lover. He works with wood, makes all kinds of beautiful things with wood, as you can see. So when I saw this chart, I said, I've got to make that for Peter. It's a Karen Kluba, Rosewood Manor, and a Forest Grew. I had a real hard time finding this. I ordered it from one shop. I can't remember who it is, and I wouldn't tell you anyway, but I didn't get it. I don't know if it got lost in the mail. Anyway, that was all made good, and then I found it again at another shop, and they sent it, and I was just so excited to get it. All these beautiful trees, and she gives these extra small little charts. So what she's done is she's taken some parts from in here and has showed you how you can make smalls with it. This is a really large chart. I don't know if I have the measurements. The design size is 420 by 200, so that's pretty good size. I'm stitching it on a 40 count white Newcastle with the called for DMC. The called for DMC I have housed on 3 rings, and the rings are packed. So what I'm doing, I'm working on 1 page at a time. I've finished the first page, and I'm working on the second page. So what I do is whatever floss is required for whatever page I'm working on, I'm using these floss cards. They're called Loran. I think they're Loran. I punched through it so I can't really see it, but I got these off Amazon, and they work great. So what I did, I just copied the ledger of that sheet section that I was working on and cut it out and put it here. So I've got the symbols and the floss number, all DMC. This makes it a whole lot easier to stitch. Let me go ahead and show you what I've gotten so far. Doesn't look like much, but that's a lot of little stitches. And like I said, this is 1 page and almost page 2. I don't want to knock my water over here. I love the little red birds. that little, that's what I worked on yesterday. I've been doing this as part of my WIP Go. Matter of fact, I still have 5 hours left to do for WIP Go to get that completed on my WIP Go will be totally done. I'm also, I started off with try to do 25/7, where you work 25 minutes, 7 days a week on a particular project. Well, I had a hard time doing it every day because, life happens and things happen, and I just couldn't seem to get to it every day. So I thought, okay, maybe I can do 60 minutes 3 times a week or 2 times a week or whenever I can. So I started doing that, and then I discovered when I went upstairs to work on this in my quilting area, I wanted it to be quiet and peaceful. So I put my iPad on, and I started from Psalms 1 and listened to an audio Bible by Grace to You that I have. And I started listening to the Psalms and the Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, all of the wisdom. But I'm really sticking in the Psalms, so I'm calling it my Psalm 60 stitch. And I try to get up there at least twice a week, if not more. And sometimes the Psalm 60 will turn into Psalm 60 times 2, because I'll spend 2 hours. An hour can fly by when you're stitching. It's peaceful. You're listening to beautiful God's Word. But anyway, I call it my Psalm 60 stitch, and I absolutely love it. Oh, and also, Peter, inspired by this, has started making all kinds of trees. Well, he's made trees before, but these are new ones that he's making. And when this is finished and we put it somewhere, I'm not sure where we're going to put it. We want to have all these different various trees that he's making as part of it. So I think that's really neat. I'm looking forward to that. I forgot to put this back. Okay, I know where that goes, so I'm going to leave that right there. Yeah, I do. I love that stitch. I could stitch on it a lot more. There's not a single stitch that has gone into that I have not enjoyed. Okay, that one's, okay, and then the next one. I love this chart so much. Pull all this out. There's no way to be fast with this. I'm not sure when this chart came out. I think it was 2020. No, it was 2013 by Brenda Gervais, and she is an artist extraordinaire. Noel sampler. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at the deer, that red house. Pretty little bird up there, nice soft muted colors, that basket of fruit, and these 2 little people down here. How precious, and a dog. Just love it. And then it says Noel up here. So I'm stitching this with the called for DMCs, which are lovely. Can't go wrong with DMC. Tried and true. And I'm stitching it on 36 count white clay by Fox and Rabbit. I started this. Started this in Christmas in July. Christmas stitching in July. So I worked on it then, and then I also picked it up in my WIP Go. So that's how far I've gotten so far. Isn't that white clay pretty? Against the red and the green. I just think it's lovely. So I've got the house done. The bricks were so much fun to do. I have the windows to do. I haven't finished those. This little bird has some satin stitches on the wings, which I'm going to wait until the end to do that. Yeah. So that's Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. with our needle and thread. It's a lovely, lovely chart. Thank you, Brenda, for designing that. And I'm so glad I was able to find it. That was another one that was a little bit hard to find. But thankfully I was able to find it. Okay. This next one is Annie B's Folk Art 12 Days of Christmas. It was a chart of the month that Crazy Annie's had on Facebook. And when I saw it, I thought they were so pretty. There was also a challenge by Sherry, Colorado Cross Stitcher, in June, I believe it was, to do something that you had never done before, a different finish, like a drum or a stocking, or just a finish that you had never done before. I think that was the challenge. And so I had never done a stocking. I had never done beading. I had never done the cording. So I thought this series would work for me. I've completed the first one, so now I'm working on the second. And there's 12 parts, of course, 12 Days of Christmas. And I just think they are so precious. There's a little heart. And the bead pack comes with it. I bought the fabric from Crazy Annie's. And then the charts are a monthly chart, and I've gotten all 12 of them now through December. So it might take me a while to stitch all of them, but I'll just enjoy it as I go. Here's part of the floss, at least for the one that I'm working on now. Isn't that pretty? And here's part of the first of one of the doves. Haven't gotten very far. I had to go to the car dealership and have the car service, so I took this with me and worked on it. White stitches are not my favorite, which I think everybody says that. And this is, with it being a 27 count, I do have to use 2 strands. So I'm doing a lot of railroading, trying to get them to lay right. So we'll see how it looks when I'm done. And I'm looking forward to getting back on that. It will be part of my WIP Go. And I started that, I think it was July's challenge from Colorado Cross Stitcher. Yep, July Cross Stitch Camp. Which I so much appreciate people that do things to just, encourage us all to stitch this and stitch that and try something new and try something different. And yes. This next one is a chart that I had wanted to stitch for so long, from the time I first saw it and saw other people finishing it. And I just thought it was so lovely. And when Barb and Lost and Floss wanted to celebrate her friend Leanne's birthday, she started a sow. And it was Leanne's Legacy Sow. Started on August the 24th of this year. And she said that Leanne's favorite stitch was, one of her favorite stitches was fall, and I'm in agreement with that. I love fall, love Christmas. So she was going to do Mighty Acorn, and I had this slated to start the first day of autumn. So I thought, hey, this is good timing. So I decided to join in on this stitch along. I haven't gotten very far, but I'm going to continue working on it. Barb she stitched the same thing, and I think she has completed it. And it's just lovely. It's in this book, Winds of Autumn, which there's so many beautiful things in here to stitch. So many. I mean, what inspiration just looking through these books. And like Brenda says, buy all the Blackbird. And I understand why she says that, because they're all very beautiful and a joy to stitch. These are the called for flosses, just absolutely gorgeous. The only thing is I'm changing the Sneckley, which the house is going to be Sneckley, to Loden, because the Sneckley that I have is more of a golden, and our house is green. So I wanted to do, closer to our house. And I think that will go well with the other colors. I'm hoping anyway. So this is my progress. I am stitching this on 36 count prairie grass. This is the other prairie grass I was telling you about. It's a little bit different, but I love it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the orange leaf and those acorns. Peter's been making acorns. Matter of fact, we didn't get the Christmas decorations down for the tree this year. Instead, Peter made acorns, angels, snowmen, and these little trinket-like, almost like a dreidel, Christmas decorations. So that's what our Christmas tree is decorated in, is Peter's woodworking, and I love that. He got so excited. I mean, every day he would come in with another handful of acorns to put on there, and we've been giving them away as Christmas presents. And everybody loves them. So, fun. It's all fun. Oh. Hey, buddy. What's he doing, little fella? Can you hear buddy click, 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 click? So that was a mighty acorn. Oh, this one is beautiful. I wish I had been able to get a little bit more done on this before today, but a little bit at a time, right? This is a sampler that it's a reproduction sampler that Jane Alexander reproduced from Tree of Life samplings, called the Tender Father sampler. And it's another red sampler, which I think is gorgeous. And it says, love the Lord with all your heart, and he will be a tender father unto thee. Sophia Cooper, aged 10 years old, in 1844. So this is a reproduction of Sophia's sampler. It's just beautiful. I love to think about these young girls and their needlework, stitching this. Okay, I didn't get very much done, but I'll show you what I've gotten. I am stitching this with Schoolhouse Red. This is the first time I've used Schoolhouse Red, Gentle Arts. Oh, it's so pretty. Doesn't have a huge amount of variegation, just a little bit, but just enough. Just enough. And I'm working on that top section. Yep. And I'll come around. I probably will go ahead and do, part of the border down, do like this on the other side too, just so I can make sure that I'm in the right spot. Of course, I'm using that technique that everybody does where you count down 10 and put an X, count down 10, put an X, so you know how many. This is being stitched on 36 count R&R American Chestnut, which that's probably truer to color. And it's not going to be a huge sampler. It's going to be, the design size is 9.4 by 10.8, so that's not huge. I think it'd be real pretty, just, framed. And on my wall, see, I've got some stuff on the wall, and we need to paint. That's what that we were testing paints out. And hopefully we can get that done soon, because it really needs it. We've been in the house 15 years and it is way past time to paint. But we have really high ceilings in here, and I don't think that I can do it. Peter says he can do it, but it would take having scaffolding. So I'm not sure what we'll do. Anyway, okay, the next one is, oh, this is fun. This is a fun stitch right here. And we're coming down to the end. We're almost, we can see the finish line. This was a stitch along that Terry and Jamie started. It began on October the 29th, and it's called Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I just think it's so cute. It's so cute. I've not done any of the rules before, the rules patterns by, you know, all these different pattern designers. So this is a first for me. And I will finish it probably similar to this. I don't know if I'll do a bow, but I would love to find some jingle bells, you know, to put up here. I'm not sure what, but wouldn't it be cute on a sleigh? Anyway, so that's Christmas Rules, and I'm using the called for flosses, which there are overdyes, sampler thread, Gentle Art, and some Weeks Dye Works, and the rest is DMC. That orange, you think, what in the world is the orange? That's the snowman's nose. So I probably didn't really need to buy a whole skein just for two little snowmen and their nose, but I'll use it for something else. I am stitching this on 40 count Stormy Night, which I love how the Stormy Night shows off the red and the green and the white. See what you guys think. I put something behind it so you don't see the Christmas tree. I've got green thread up there. So that's where I've gotten so far. Christmas Rules. Deck the halls, drink cocoa, hang your stocking, and build a snowman. I love the little dog with the snowman. He's going to grab the snowman's arm, the tree. That's a fun stitch. It's a fun stitch. So I still have 3 sections to go. I was hoping to get it. I did really good the first, 5 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I kept up the first 5 weeks, but I fell off the wagon in week 6, 7, and 8. So this will go in my WIP Go, and it'll be a finish by December of next year. And hopefully FFO'd out. This next one is my birthday start, which my birthday was December the 10th. I've never done a birthday start before, so this was a first, another first for me. And I put it in a Teresa Kogut bag that I made that actually was a reject. I wasn't going to put this in the shop because I made this section too tall, and I didn't realize it until after I got everything done. And also, for some reason, the zipper overlaps, and I wasn't going to sell that to anybody, so I thought, well, it's meant for me to have it and use it. So I'm using it for Teresa Kogut stitch, which I love. Oh, and Peter made, this is one of Peter's snowmen that he's making for my bags. And this is Newcastle Bouquet, which I have been wanting to stitch this for a very long time. What you doing, buddy? Why don't you go lay down? Mommy be finished in just a minute. Mommy be finished in just a minute. And I'm using one of my new cross stitch project cards that I found on Etsy. I can't remember the shop's name, but I will look it up and I'll put it in the notes down below. If It's really nice because you can put so much information on here, and then it has a calendar down at the bottom, so it has the months and the days, and you can mark off what days you stitch. So you can look back and say, oh, okay, I've put 15 days in this so far, and I've gotten this much done. So if I want to have this finished by a certain time, maybe if I could put, 15 more days in between now and such, I can be finished or whatever. So I really like this, and I've got it printed on cardstock paper, so it's a little bit more substantial. But this was a PDF that I downloaded, and I'll remember to put that down below. The chart is Newcastle Bouquet, which I'm sure y'all have seen. This genius artist, Teresa Kogut, one of her designs. I am so looking forward to getting to the birds and the basket and the flowers and that beautiful moth. I'm using the called for overdyes, which I'm not sure if that's the called for flosses. I think it is. I think these are all the called fors. So there's DMC, Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and I am stitching this on a piece of Extrude Design aged hazelnut in 36 count. So it's one strand of floss over 2 linen threads. And I think this fabric is just gorgeous. Isn't that pretty? Having a hard time holding it still. It smells so good. What does she do to her fabric? And there's just a tiny little bit of well, you can see the modeling in this, but it's not overdone at all. It's just beautiful. So I'm looking forward to working on that border some more. So I'll probably go all the way across on the border, come down a little bit, and then start with the alphabet. I typically work from upper left down. I used to always start, I've changed so much since the 80s. Gosh, at that time I was a monogamous stitcher. Never would have thought to do more than one project at a time. I don't know if quilting changed that or what happened, because in quilting I always have more than one project going at once. And, I don't think about finishing this before I start on this. I just go ahead, whatever, unless I'm, there's a deadline or something. If I'm making something for somebody, then I probably would, go ahead and put everything else behind, and work on that. But I love having a lot of different projects. I just love it because you never get bored. And used to when I was a monogamous stitcher, and that might be why I kind of stopped stitching for a while, because I thought that's the way you do it. That's the way I've got to do it. And I would get so bored with the project. But this way you don't get bored. You pick it up for 5 days or 2 days or 10 hours or whatever, and you stitch on it for a while. You enjoy every stitch. Then you put it away for a while, and then you bring it out again. It's like, visiting an old friend. So anyway, Teresa Kogut, thank you for your designs. They are so beautiful. You okay, buddy? You okay? Daddy out there, he's still working in the garage. Is he still working in the shop? He's making some pretties. Can't wait to see what he's working on today. He said he was doing some more skips. We haven't made the big skips in a long time. And I think we're going to start making some bigger skips, the way we used to make them. And some for larger scissors. So, anyway, he made some for my sisters and my sister-in-law. They wanted the bigger ones for the bigger scissors that quilters use, the seamstress scissors. And we haven't made those in a long time. So I asked him if he would, and I volunteered. He said, "Oh, we'll make you some skips." But oh gosh, anyway, so he has made some, and oh, they're beautiful. So I think we're going to put some of those in the shop. We are down to our last one. Are you still with me? I hope so. I hope you've enjoyed this. I sure have enjoyed being able to share with you guys. The last one, and what is it? You are asking yourself, what could it be? Oh, this is a stitch that I saw last Christmas when everything was just getting posted so much on Instagram, and oh, I just thought this was so beautiful, and I wanted to do it exactly like she did it. And I wish I had written, I've got her name somewhere because I saved the post. But anyway, it's the Primitive Merry Christmas Pillow by Abby Rose Designs. I don't know when this was done. Let's see if I can find. 2019. I knew it was a little bit older, that it wasn't, just recently released. But I just think that is so beautiful. And look how she has that picture with the holly around it and the jingle. See, the jingle bell. That's what I wanted. Jingle bell. A rusted jingle bell with that green antique looking ribbon. Oh, I just think that is so beautiful. But the person that inspired me, I should have looked up her name. Please forgive me. Anyway, she stitched it on a Weeks Dye Works natural tin roof gingham. And I said, that's what I want to do. So I went to see if I could find it, and I found it. And I got the floss that she had used. It's different than the called for. The green that is called for is Forest Glade by Gast. Yes. But what she used was Classic Colored Works English Ivy. And so that's what I got. I love that deep, rich green against these reds. Oh my word. So beautiful. Cherry bark, cranberry, a DMC 3371 Loden for the lighter green, and then parchment for the creamy white that's reflected in the berries. Let me show you what I've gotten done so far. I'm so happy with this. I started this on Christmas Day. This is my Christmas Day stitch. And I've worked on it, pretty steady. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness, I just absolutely love it. On the gingham, I just think this is so pretty. I didn't need quite this much allowance. I should have scooted over just a little bit more so I'd have more on this side to do something else. But anyway, so what I have left to stitch is Christmas. So that shouldn't take too long because words go pretty fast. Words go pretty fast. So this is a definite finish for next year, Christmas of next year. And I absolutely love it. Merry Christmas, Primitive Merry Christmas Pillow. Isn't it pretty on that gingham? Oh, I just think it's lovely. So that is my last WIP. I do have some more. I wanted to share with you just a little bit, if I can get to them. Of my plans. I got this book that everybody has seen, the 23 Book of Days, and I did like Sherry Colorado Cross Stitch suggests, getting the plastic on the outside and having it coil bound at Staples. They only charge $5 for this, which I think is really reasonable. And I had them insert, I was going to insert some other pages, but I just went ahead and had them insert my WIP Go 2023. So I've got it handy. I am going to have to change one thing on this, the mini bouquet sampler, because I have completed that. So I need to put something else in this spot, which I don't think I'll have a problem finding something, because I have I don't know if I put Newcastle Bouquet on this. Yes, I did. I didn't put my Christmas, primitive Christmas, so I probably will put that there. So I am planning on doing WIP Go, and this has included the Prairie School of Santas that I didn't show you because I've completed the Santas that I've got. I don't have anything started, so I am going to try to do more Prairie School of Santas whenever that's called. The Joyful World, which is a 12 part, it's a monthly part, a free sampler. Little Sheep Virtues, I did go ahead and buy 3 more of their charts of the Little Sheep Virtues, so I want to pick that up when it's called. This is also, I like the little ones to take over to my friend Barbara's when we get together on Thursday nights. We alternate her house and my house, so when I go over there I take stitching. Or if I go somewhere, go visit mom or whatever, I'll take stitching. I don't want to take something small. So I would do those. Patriotic Barn Trio. That was a stitch along last year that I did with Niecy Lynn. I think she's finished it. I've only done one, and there's 2 more. Hometown Holiday Series. I've done 3 or 4, so there's quite a few more of the little house needleworks, but I didn't want to show those today because I don't have anything actually in process or progress. Prairie Bird, oh, I've got 2 because I finished Prairie Birds. So I've got 2 slots I need to fill in. I went ahead and put something in 13, so I might just duplicate something that I really want to get some progress on. Excuse me. Yeah, and I think that's it. So that's my this is my plans for 2023 as far as directed plans. And then what I'm going to do is I'm showing, okay, the numbers that are called with WIP Go. And then I'm also going to have a focus piece every month. I'm not going to pre-plan that. I'm just going to say, okay, what do I really want to work on this month? It will be from my WIPs. I'll just, see what really is calling to me. And that focus piece, it could be the same thing for 2 months. I don't know. I just want to kind of play that by ear and see what happens. So I'm really looking forward to 2023. I appreciate Jessie Marie does stuff for getting us going on WIP Go. I know that's probably been going on for a long time. This year was my first year. I accomplished a lot in it. So I think it, for me and the way I, work, some direction is great, and then some freedom is great. So this is kind of, best of both worlds. I also am going to have, hang on just one second. I just want to show you these real quick. So these are part of January plans. January 1st, a new start. I didn't bring my fabric down here. I want to start Plum Street Samplers. Adam names the animals. Can you see that? This is going to be so much fun to do. Look at the giraffe peeking through. Can you see the giraffe? Right there, peeking through. All of the animals have over 1 faces. There's a skunk, a lion. I don't know if that's a monkey. Zebra, of course. So cute. And the fish in the sea. So that's going to be January 1 start for me. I'm stitching it on, I didn't bring the fabric downstairs. Oh, this is a new fabric dyer that I have tried. It's called Tropical Stitches. And this is a Angarella 36 count. This is very, very pretty. So I'm looking forward to starting that. And here's a bag I made, and this was another reject. See, I get all the rejects. What happened is these zippers. I made the mistake of, normally I stitch across over the zipper on both ends. So if I cut it, there's something to stop the zipper pull from going across. For some reason, I didn't do that on this one. I don't know why. I think I was in a hurry. And I was zipping it up and it went all the way across. So with these zippers, in order to get this back on, you have to cut part of the zipper to the side. It has to be staggered. So, the one piece is down like this. So when you put the pull on, you can put the other partially in and pull it. But you lose like 1/4 of an inch or maybe a little bit more. So not only was it shorter on this side, but the zipper's on the wrong side. This is for a left-handed person, I guess. See, normally the zipper is closed on the left. So anyway, I got a reject, but I think it's pretty. Is it pretty? Even though it's messed up, I love the blue. I love the blue. I didn't put a pull on this, and then I've got the sampler fabric on the inside. Anyway, what is included in here is a stitch along to celebrate Becca's birthday on January 4th. And it is, the name of the chart, and y'all have probably heard about this, is The Maker and Mender. Oh, I think it's so pretty. The Maker and Mender by Brenda Gervais. Look at that. Oops. Look at that. Upside down. It says, "The needle, be it though so slim and slender, is both a maker and a mender." Isn't that beautiful? So I'm getting my flosses together. I have everything, but I think there's 2 DMCs. And believe it or not, I don't have them. Yeah, 2 DMCs. So I just need to get those together, which next time I run out to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I'll pick those up. And it calls for stitching it on Barb's Blend, and I do have Barb's Blend. So it's kind of a grayish, brownish, pretty. Doesn't quite look like the picture, but they never really look like the picture sometimes. They just don't. So anyway, this is for Becca's birthday, January the 4th. I don't know what the hashtag's gonna be. Did I write that down? Nope. Ordered the chart from Colorado Cross Stitcher. I had a note in there that I'd ordered that from her, and the floss. So anyway, that's January 4th. So stay tuned. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you saw something that you are inspired by, that you would like to stitch. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm not going to put everything in the drop down, but if you have any questions, just please ask, comment, let me know what you think. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I wish you the happiest of New Year's, and just much joy to your family, and always, always happy stitching. Bye.